Hello everybody. In today's video, I'm going to show you exact step-by-step how to make these fence board lighted Christmas trees, which are huge sellers for Christmas time. So what I got here is 1 by 8 by 4 feet long. So they say it's 1 inch thick by 8 inches across. You can do 1 by 6, but they're a little bit smaller. And you might have to use maybe 10 lights, not 20 lights. I'll show you all the steps. Some tips when you're buying the wood. I say buy the tight grain wood. Make sure it's dry. No cracks. Make sure there's no cracks. Knots are okay, just not the loose knots that you can push out. Make sure they're tight knots. And there you go. If you follow those steps when you're buying it, look at the end for cracks. No cracks. This is how I draw it on. No pattern. There's the bottom of the tree. Here's the tree trunk. I put marks here. So make sure you give it a nice swoosh line, like so it's not straight. See how that's swooshed like a curve? And I don't bring it to the very bottom, the swoosh, or your tree will be too thin. See how I leave it square there? When you're carving it, that squareness will leave. Here, I'm using a bandsaw here to cut it out. You do not have to have a bandsaw. You can have a jigsaw. Even if you don't have a jigsaw, you can reach out to a woodworker that does have a bandsaw or does have a jigsaw, and you can get them to cut them out for you. And you can use patterns too. If you want the tree a certain way and you're going to give it to somebody to cut for you, well, give them a pattern. Cut it out of cardboard or whatever. I'll say that I'm not very good at these voiceovers, but I try my best. Cutting out the bottom first. And if you're going to use all these power tools, be very careful, please. And here's cutting out the shape. So like I said, if you can't do that yourself, you can find somebody to do it. Now here's the pieces that I cut for the backers. I glue them on later to make the tree stand because they're so thin. And I cut them back at a little angle so the trees, I hot glue them onto the back of the tree so the trees lean back a bit. So here's a couple shapes. Now, this is a new way I'm doing it this year. Usually I use my Dremel to carve the details, but I'm going to use my die grinder here. No, sorry, not my die grinder, just a normal grinder with a flap sanding wheel. Now, here's bigger trees. For these bigger trees, I cut those out with my chainsaw, and I put 40 lights in those bigger trees. And well, they're more money. So, one year I sold over 100 trees. Here's the backer. See the little bit of an angle? And I'll just glue it onto the back later on with a hot glue gun. See the little bit of an angle that it's at? So it makes the tree lean back and they don't fall over. Because you got to know that this stuff's not real 1 inch. It's like 3/4 inches. Here's the lights. I get these at Dollarama. I think they were like $2.50 a pack. They take 2 AA batteries. There's the size of the lights. You can also buy them at Walmart. I'm going to show you later on. So here's a drill bit. I don't know what size of drill bit, so I just make sure it's a little bit bigger, a little bit wider than the lights that you're going to use. I don't suggest using the normal Christmas lights you get. I know all Christmas lights are LEDs, but there's all the holes I got drilled. I drilled 20. When I'm drilling the holes, I just place them anywhere, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4 as I'm drilling. Sometimes I stop and recount. It's better to not have enough holes drilled than to drill too many holes. So you see that? That's the blowout. That's just my laziness. I could have put a flat board. You didn't have that. Here's the sander. This is like, I think it's 80 grit with the sanding pad. I sand all both sides clean. You can see that piece fall off there, that blowout. And sand the front. Now, before when I'm the inventor of these fence board Christmas trees, so I like to call them Johnson fence board trees, Christmas trees. See there with the flap sander? I'm just carving in some quick detail. I'm rounding off the edges. See, I would normally do this with my Dremel. I am going to make another video Dremel carving these fence board Christmas trees, and I'll carve the details with my Dremel. So, but this is a lot faster. And like I don't know if I said, but 1 year I sold over 100 of them. And I don't sell these for cheap. Now I'm just getting rid of that square edge, making it round on the sides. Even if you're doing Dremel carving the details, I suggest to get a grinder like this and round off the edges. Now here, this is all I'm doing to put the details in for the trees this year. 80 times the speed it would take quicker than doing the Dremel carving. So it's important to have dry wood so your sanding disc doesn't plug up, because if you're sanding wet wood with the sanding disc, they do plug up. So I'm just doing straight, and see I'm going back over my straight lines, putting some extra lines in there. So they're not, everything's just not so straight and perfect. Kind of be safe, everybody. I hit my wrist with this sander that took off a lot of skin really quick. There I am working on the edge first. Well, it's just easier. You'll see what I'm going to do here. So I already got that edge done, so now I can come right across. And I kind of put them down at an angle too. It'll hit that other edge. It's easier to, well, it's just easier for me to do. You can do it any which way you want to do. It's simple to do, and let me tell you, anybody can do it. But when you have that grinder and the sander in your hand with no guard on it, like I said, be careful, because if that hits your skin, it's a skin remover, that's for sure. See, I'm just crossing the lines there. That's pretty well done. Make sure you got all your edges carved. Don't leave any. Here's just a propane torch. I bought those fence boards at Rona here in Canada. I'm in Canada, everybody. So if Home Depot might have them, the 1x8s, or look on Facebook Marketplace and look for somebody selling used fence boards. Like there's fence companies, guys that install new fences. They keep all the old fence boards and sell them. Just cut the bottoms off where they're rotten and perfect. You sand away all the old gray stuff anyways. So you see there quickly I'm burning it. I burned the trunk darker than the tree just to give it a darker color to offset them. This is a Mampa flap sander made by Mampa Tools. It's all right. Those sanding things they don't last too long. So this just goes in your drill. You guys can use any kind of sander you want. You can even hand sand it. This just speeds it up a bit. So that's Mampa Tools, made in Korea. They're good tools. This, like I said, it's all right, but it just goes through the sanding pads pretty quick. They don't last too long. So there it is, sanded up. And you can see there I even got some Show Susie Band kind of look where you burn the wood, you see the grain. Now here's the lights. These ones are from Dollarama. Those are the 40 lights. The green pack there, second to the left, is from Walmart. Now, this is the Dollarama. They used to have the 6-hour timers in them. They don't have them anymore. They take 2 AA batteries. And there's the Walmart ones, 20 lights. You know, you can also buy packs of 10, but they have like little pine cones on them or little things on the end of the lights. Just get a heat gun and pull off the little things that are stuck to the ends of lights. Like they'll have little Christmas trees or little pumpkins on them. So that's how you can get 10. So if you don't have that big of wood. Now, when you drill the holes, make sure you don't drill them too far apart. You want to kind of keep them closer together. That's why I suggest making your trees about 20 inches, because your holes won't be too far apart. And because if they're too far apart, the holes, well, the wire in between the lights won't fit, right? And you'll have to do some constructive plastic wood surgery on the tree. Drill another hole, then plug the other hole. So this is all I do. Sorry. Usually I start at the top with the end light. I put all the lights in first. One thing I didn't do here, because I didn't have them, always check your lights with the batteries before you glue them in. Always put the batteries in the packs of your lights, turn them on, make sure every single lights are working. Because nothing is worse than when you glue on all your lights, you get batteries, turn them on, and find out your lights don't work or one light doesn't work. Because then there's some more electrical plastic surgery that you'll need. So all my lights are in place. Now I'm going to start hot gluing them in when they're in place. See, I already had that one done. I just quickly put a tab of glue. I'll quickly hit them all like that. I'll flip it over, make sure, look at the face with the lights, make sure they're all in place. Make sure they're all sticking out far enough, but not too far. So you got to do that. So now I go over it, make sure all the lights are in place and everything's good. Now this is the part that kind of takes a while. Fold the things over, the wires over. I call it, every year I can't friggin' think of the name, but you use your fingers. I lick my finger and then I push the glue down. What's that name? Twister. I call it finger twister. Sometimes you use all your fingers. And I just put my glue gun on not hot. There's a hot or there's a normal mode. I just keep it on normal. Anyways, there's the battery pack. Make sure you glue it the right side up. Don't glue it so the lid is stuck down. I'm just telling you, learn from my mistakes. That's what this is about. Here's some paint. I dilute it. It's just acrylic paint. It's Hooker. Hooker's green, my favorite green color paint in the world. I dilute it with water. And I said, you know what? I'm going to paint a couple trees this year. So you can paint them, like you don't have to dilute the green. You can paint them so you don't see the wood grain, but I like to see the wood grain, let people know that they're real wood. Also, you can paint them, then you can put that fake snow on them. You can put sparkles on. I've done this all. You can put sparkles on them, fake snow. They're fun to do, and I'm telling you right now, for myself, they are huge sellers. That's why I've already started. It's still a month away, more than a month and a week away from Halloween. The biggest Christmas markets are in November, so it's better to get ahead of the game, I say. And another thing I don't say is I watered down some Mod Podge. And once this paint was dry, then I watered down the Mod Podge and I sprayed, because you can buy spray Mod Podge in a spray bottle. But I sampled it. I tried some. Here I am doing it again. This time, the lights are inside there, so I'm just painting over the lights. And I get a Q-tip and I just dab the lights and get the green off the lights like that. The watered down Mod Podge work because you want to lock that green in there. If you want to put like a fake snow or some little white lines for snow, you lock the watered down Mod Podge locks the green in so the green doesn't go into the white. Here's a heat gun just melting all your little glue gun. You know how you get those stringy things? So that's it, everybody. So far, I got 12 made. I got all the lights glued in. I'll just show you how it leans back. See how it leans back a little bit? Perfect. It's not going to fall over. There's my thing glued into the back. There's my battery pack. I put glue on it, then I push it into spot. I put the battery pack on after I got all the lights, the wires hot glued in. Okay, I just glue them. I put it on top of light. Make sure when you put your switch, the wires don't get in the way. So that's clear, so I can turn them on and off. And don't forget to sign your pieces. Now I'm the inventor of these trees, so I like to call them the Johnson fence board trees. But I hope you guys were able to learn something from this video and get at it. You know, you can make a lot of money for Christmas time. Everybody likes having extra money at Christmas time, don't they? I know I do. Let me turn the lights off and finish this video. 3, 2, 1, hit the lights. So there you go. If you don't want to sell them, give them away. They make awesome, awesome Christmas presents. I don't think I showed it on this video, but this one's a windy day tree. People like the windy day trees too. One more thing, I'll leave a little box up here with my video I did last year, how to carve these fence board Johnson Christmas trees with your Dremel.